So solving equations and inequalities, we're going to solve the following two equations and inequalities for x. So I need to isolate x, but I can't isolate x until I first get, like right now in 21, we have 3 x's written down. We need to get them so there's only one x written, and then we can use our rules to solve. So what you're going to do first is kind of pretend that both sides of these equations are their own separate problems. You're going to distribute to get rid of the parentheses and combine any like terms that you have. So if I just look at the left, the first thing I notice is I have a parentheses. The only way to get rid of parentheses is to multiply or distribute something throughout them. The thing that's touching the parentheses is this minus sign. There's technically a 1 right there. So negative 1 is being multiplied to the 16 minus 5x. You have to do that first. So I'm going to bring down the 11x, multiply negative 1 times 16 is negative 16. Negative 1 times a negative 5x is a positive 5x. Now if I continue just on this side, I notice I have 2 x's. Well, those are like terms and can be combined. So 11x plus 5x is 16x minus 16 equals. Now if we look only at the right side, first, we're going to get rid of the parentheses by distributing the number on the outside, the 6. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 2 is 12x. Those are not like terms, so there's nothing else I can do, and I'm just going to bring it to the same level. Okay, so now I have simplified both sides separately. Now I need to get all of my x's in one spot. You have 16 x's on the left, you have 12 x's on the right. It doesn't matter which, but you need to pick one of them to move. If I pick to move the 12 x's, I'm going to subtract them because 12 x's minus 12 x's is 0 x's left, so I only have the 42. And I'm going to do the same with the 16 because they're like terms. So 16x minus 12x is 4x minus 16 equals 42. Okay, now all my x's are only written in one time, so now I can get x by itself. So add 16. So 4x equals 58. Divide by 4. And x equals, hang on. So 4 doesn't go into 58, so you can leave it as the improper fraction 58 over 4. Or you can simplify, they're both divisible by 2. So you can simplify it to 29 over 2. And that's also acceptable. All right. Okay, next, I have an inequality. Same idea. Look at only the left, only the right. So if I look at only the left, there's no parentheses here, but I can combine these like terms. So of negative 8x and 2x, well, that's negative 6 of them. Keep the symbol. Negative 5x and 7x, those are like terms. And when you combine, you get 2x. Now I'm going to write all of my x's to one side. So I'm going to move these negative 6x's by adding so that they zero out on that side. And I'm going to add them here. So 8x. Divide by 8. And you have negative 2 is less than x. Or if you wanted to write the x first and the negative 2 second, because it's an inequality, you've got to flip it around so it stays the same. Okay? Both of these are acceptable answers. Okay, now, when do you flip the inequality? You only flip the inequality when you multiply or divide both sides by a negative number. So, for example, in this one, we did not flip the inequality. We got a negative answer, but that doesn't matter. We're looking at the number that we divide both sides by. So because the 8 was positive, our inequality stays the same. If the 8 were negative, then it would flip around.